What's up, people? This is William Jones making videos about leaving religion. The purpose of the videos is to get you to think. Turn your brains on and think. And use logic and use reason and realize that religion is fake. For this video, it is May 16th, 2022. And the event that just happened, I believe it was yesterday, was a shooting in Buffalo at a Tops grocery store that killed 10 people and injured another 3 by a young white male, 18 years old, which is being connected with white supremacy. So that's what's going on in the news today, and that's what everybody's talking about right now. Sadly, in America, we're dealing with all of these mass shootings and no laws are being put in place to help try to control this thing like other countries would do. Even here in Georgia now, you can just openly, you can carry your gun. And that's going to be the reason why people carry their guns, is because people just start shooting in public places. When I go out and I'm in a restaurant and whoever I'm with, I gotta face the door. I can't sit with my back to the door. I have to be facing the door because people get to talking and they laughing and joking and eating and watching this sports event on TV and not paying attention to what's going on in their surroundings. When I'm sitting there, I'm watching people, watching their movements, watching facial expressions, body language. I'm watching, because the world we live in, that's what it is. So with that being said, I know there's not a news channel, for YouTube, and it's about leaving religion, but it's like, what does religion have to do with this? This is just like the shooting that happened in, what was it, South Carolina, was it? Where Dylan Roof ran into the church and shot the place up, and no warning. And who was killed? A bunch of black parishioners. Here we go with this situation. He went to an area where it was blacks and got his automatic rifle on unarmed people and recording it, and I'm looking at it. I didn't want to see the video. I wasn't going to look at it. I was giving somebody a ride home from work, and it was like, yo, here go the video. I had to watch it. I watched it. I declare to you, it was like watching a Call of Duty, like you playing Call of Duty. When you're looking at your gun and looking at your surroundings, it looked just like Call of Duty. Just like it, except for the characters in this one were real people. And I just couldn't believe what I saw. I couldn't believe what I saw in those about 40 seconds. And it happened, I think it happened Sunday, if I believe it happened Sunday, either Saturday or Sunday, but I know it happened too close for pastors, at the churches to prepare a sermon to talk about this, because it's going to brew all week. It's going to brew, and that'll be the topic of discussion this Sunday at every church, basically guaranteed. Just like you had when Kevin Samuels passed away, and a couple people cared to mention him in their sermons and recant, or what have you, but this is for this week. I mean, the news today, it just keeps going. It keeps going. One thing after another. Just doesn't stop. Now, for those of us that are non-believers, we already know that no deity, no God was going to intervene in any shape, form, or fashion. No God was going to give a heads up to what was going to happen, because the guy just parked the car, jumped out, started shooting in the parking lot. And when I know I'm in the grocery store quite a bit, you're not prepared for this. I'm not going to carry my gun. I'm only in the grocery store. I'm not in the trap. I'm in the grocery store. That's going to change a whole lot of that. There was no heads up from any deity. There was no protection from any deity. The only protection there actually was the color of a person's skin. Because when the shooter saw, when he pointed his gun at a white person, and the guy cringed, knew he was about to die, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and continued on to killing other people. So the only protection wasn't from up on high. It was mentally what this guy was thinking. That's being promoted by the past president and certain channels named after animals that have their agendas, that can just shoot these things out to these people that believe this stuff, that sends them out cocked and loaded to do something stupid. So this video might not even get monetized because it's talking about something, but I'm like, whatever, you know. I'm just speaking, I'm just saying my 2 cents on the whole thing. And the thing is about this is that, you know, when we talk about believers, and that once you have convinced believers to believe certain things, you can't convince them different. You can't do it. I had somebody in my last video, well, I was, you know, the one update on William Jones, saying it's easy to have these, something to the effect, it's easy to have these arguments, you know, while you just, you know, sit making a video, but why not just set up an actual debate with a Christian, and, you know, you might learn something, or something to that effect. You can read it in the comments, and I'm not going to mention the person's name, put anybody out there, but, and I kind of responded to the point that, I mean, think about it. If you can get a person to believe the things in the Bible are real, you can't convince them otherwise. Once a person has believed that a serpent had a conversation with a woman, they believe this actually happened, what am I debating with them for? Because we are obviously in two different mindsets. We're in two different worlds. I'm in the one where I know snakes don't have the vocal cords to do this. Snakes don't have a tongue to verbalize words. Snakes do not make sounds. They do not make. Only sound you hear is when they flicking their tongue out, or if a rattlesnake is rattling its tail. But I've never seen a snake get killed and it hollered or made any type of squealing noises or anything, because it just can't. So why would I believe it could talk? The way its jaw is built, it can't form words. But if you can get a person, a grown person, to believe this actually happened, what are we having a debate about? It's pointless. It is pointless. I've watched the Christians debate other people, and in the end of all of the debating, it was all wordy. See who knew the dictionary the best, who had a better thesaurus, but no God has ever proven, and they still leave with Jesus being a myth. Point blank. So what's the point of that? But sadly at this time now, of course the pastors are going to take and use this as an advantage, and they're going to preach on it. And a lot of people who felt that they probably backslidden, or as you know, as we always use in church, one of the montages they always use, this is the last days. It's always the last. It's been the last days all my life. When the people made this song, "Oh Happy Day," gospel song, "Oh Happy Day, when Jesus washed," they condemned that song. They condemned that song. It was too worldly. You can sing that song anywhere now and they'll go right along with it. Things have changed. I remember back when I was doing the Christian rap and doing shows and all of the all over the place, and everybody all the little dance groups. Everybody wanted to dance to God's Property with Kirk Franklin Stomp. You'd have 2-3 groups in the same show dancing to that same song, dancing to Stomp, using Parliament Funkadelic's One Nation Under a Groove. Oh, it's the last days. And Salt and Pepper rapped on it after they done did Let's Talk About Sex and what's the other one? Make Me Wanna Shoot Badu. After all of this stuff, they condemn that song. Nah, it's cool. Things change. So, and then you got the whole LGBTQ. I think that's what it is. LGBTQ community coming up, and you have full-blown gay churches with a pastor and the first gentleman. I mean, this is what we are. Things are changing. Accommodate everybody. There's no actual God on high to correct anything. Whatever confusion it may be, there is no God that's going to correct the confusion. So if they won't accept me, they'll let me direct the choir over here, but they won't let me bring my partner over here and sit with me and praise together because they're going to condemn that. But they'll let me lead the whole choir. They enjoy that part. So people are breaking apart, things are changing. But with this incident happening, a lot of people are going to kind of get back closer as they consider to their faith. Because this is the last days. Not everybody will look at it logically and say, wow, my God didn't do anything. A lot of people that die like that. Now watch it. Now we ain't just hearing about it. You can watch it. You can watch it. Those people were terrified. Terrified. Nobody intervened. Nobody intervened on their behalf. I don't care what they believed, it did not intervene. Despite that, a lot of people are going to get back on track with their Christianity. Because it's the last days and Jesus is about to come back. He's been about to come back so long. He's been about to come back like we've been waiting for a large professor from Main Source to make an album. Queen's represented by the album when I drop it. And they're like, when you gonna drop it? That's for my hip hop heads who know a large professor from Main Source and did that song with a Tribe Called Quest and said that. Some of y'all not gonna get that part. Don't worry about it. Hip hop heads get that. That was, that was a joke for those who know that. Don't worry about it. But look, almost 2,000 years he ain't been back. And it's been last days for a long time. And the crazy part is, if you think about it, even from a Christian perspective, oh, look how the gay people are doing this, and Caitlyn Jenner, and how they taking over TV, they taking over Hollywood, and all of the young mothers, the single young mothers, and the way the young people having sex, and everything that they're talking about. But none of this is new. None of this is new. Think about this, right? Let's take it back. The kids today have cell phones. Well, kids and grown people have cell phones. So people hook up on social media sites, dating sites, whatever it is, you like somebody's picture, send a DM, next thing you know, they commenting and then they sexing. Alright? This is not new. Let's take it back a little further. We had pagers. People was cheating and doing stuff with pagers. They had, put this code in when you call so I know it's you. Come on, Stevie Wonder had the song Part-Time Lover. Blink the lights to let me know you okay, and the whole shebang. That's in the 80s. We had pagers, in the 90s. We had rotary phones in the 80s. As far back as you take it, people will find a way to do what they want to do. Gay people didn't just come around now. People had folks that was living together as, that's my aunt and her friend, or my other aunt, or my two uncles, or whatever it was. Nothing is new. Like the Bible, there is no new thing under the sun. And it ain't even come from it, but I know they stole it from somewhere, but there ain't nothing new. Homosexuality is not new. Cheating isn't new. Young girls getting pregnant isn't new, especially if you want to be a Christian, because Mary was pregnant by God himself and she wasn't married. There ain't nothing new. What's new? Oh, we just didn't know about it. Jerry Springer just brought it out. Maury brought it out. Jenny Jones brought it out. Ricky Lake, they just brought it out. It had been happening. It wasn't new. You just didn't know because we had social media and wouldn't put all out there like it was today. Today, a mass shooting happens and we know about it like within minutes. When did this happen? About an hour ago. And it's boom. Everybody knows about it. Yo, you heard about? Well, some celebrity dies. Within hours, we know about it. Ain't nothing new. We adapt to whatever format we have. We'll know. So my other point, going back to my point I was making, I'm just kind of drifting off, is that where you would think some people would look at this situation and say God didn't do anything, you also got the flip side where a lot of people are going to say, I got to rededicate myself back to God and get serious. Bottom line is, we all know he's not going to do anything. But he's you, because he's you. He's in your mind. Whatever you want God to be, he's that because he's that to you. He's not going to do anything. But some people need that placebo. So I'm not going to sit here and dog people out of what happened because this is a tragedy. And if that's what you believe, you believe. I mean, it's a tragedy. And I'm sorry for the people that died. I mean, it was horrific to watch. It upset me. And in fact, one of my co-workers that works with me in the same department, one of the women that was shot and killed was his great aunt. So he's already taken off this weekend for the funeral. He's from Buffalo, New York. I didn't even connect it to when I saw Buffalo, because I didn't see it on the news. I heard somebody told me about it. And I was like, okay, I didn't really know the details about it. But one of the women killed was his great aunt. So he's going to the funeral this weekend. And we had conversations about the whole God thing. He know I don't believe. I don't believe. But I wouldn't dare in this time throw that in his face, something about, well, God ain't do nothing. I was like, I really feel for you, bruh. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, that's your family. That's your great, who want to hear this mess about, you know, God ain't do nothing? That's not the time nor the place at all, ever. You know, don't dog anybody losing a loved one over something as tragic and stupid as this. Senseless. Over some kid who was wrongly influenced by people who think wrong. They loading these kids up, they gung-ho to go do stuff. I mean, that's what young people do, because think about it, in the military, like for me right now, if we in the military, and I'm like, okay, so the enemy coming, they shooting, right? We shooting. You gonna put 18, 19, 20-year-olds on the front line because me at my age, past 40, 50. Hey, Sergeant, let's talk about it. We need to talk. Why? Because they shooting. We don't have shields like Captain America. We're actually going to die like pawns on the chessboard. I'm not feeling this, man, but y'all sitting up here in the bunker smoking cigars, sipping on brandy. I can't do this. And because older people are going to question what's happening, you have to use the young people as the pawns. While the rooks and the bishops and all the castles, all this other stuff, while they they are the king and the queen, they sitting back, they on the back row. The pawns are on the first row. Send them out, let them die. Let's see what happens when the smoke settles, and then we'll strategically move from there. I'm not a pawn. That boy was a pawn. Just like Dylann Roof was a pawn. Y'all have given your lives to do something, while the ones in the background who winded them up to do the stuff, watching, planning the next thing. Nah, but like I was saying, I'm not going to throw this in the brother's face because it's a tragic situation. And a lot of people going to need that religious placebo. They're going to need to feel like God is watching over them, even though they just watched people die and he clearly wasn't. That doesn't register in the mind of a believer. They don't see the common sense part of it. They only see the blind religious part of it. They can't see it. They can't see that it doesn't make any sense. Like, God didn't do anything. He let these people die. They don't see that. God killing people to open your eyes so you can see something that doesn't make sense. And that reminds me too that I just edited a video that I was about to drop that I did, I think, 2 days ago, that I was gonna drop, but now I had to do this video because this just happened. So just so y'all know, I got one in wait. I got another one coming after this one, so it's already made, edited, done. It's done. So if you've seen this video, just know the next one is already done. It's coming behind this. But I had to put that one behind this because this is current events. And people might want to know what I think about it. It's wrong. It's wrong. I hate to see this stuff happening. And now you're going to have everybody carrying their guns. And the sad part is because of the racial tension in this country, some people can use the narrative of, well, I feared for my life and can get away with it, while some can't say that and get away with it, even though they did fear for their life. But that's where we are in America. It ain't right. I mean, it's not right. The justice is not justice. The justice is controlled by men. There's no gods intervening on behalf of justice. There are no scales being weighing your heart with the feather. None of this stuff. None of this stuff. And people talk about karma. Oh, karma is real. I'm like, I don't believe it because I done seen people not get theirs. You even had in the mob world, for those of us being born on the job talking about it, Lucky Luciano, Al Capone, and all the gangster stuff. All the gangster stuff. And you had a lot of those old gangsters. They got old, was on oxygen, was still running stuff, lived their whole life, died of natural causes. But had a lot of people whacked. Had a lot of people whacked. Everybody don't get that karma. That's not guaranteed. They can do a lot of evil stuff and it not come back. It's just not guaranteed, for real. I done seen people do a lot of dirt. You be waiting for them to get there. They don't get it. Life is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So, I don't know how long I've been talking on this video. But those are my thoughts on the whole thing. I mean, even though no God intervened and did anything, people are going to be drawn to that God like an abusive parent. The parent that beat them and did nothing for them, but told them they did, and they flocked to him anyway. And give them adoration and praise, even though they actually did nothing. No God did anything, but he will be highly praised Sunday. And for those that go to Bible study Wednesday, but they can't give it all up Wednesday, because that's not the real money day. The money day is Sunday. The day to call people to the altar is not on, I mean, they'll do it on Wednesday. That's not the day. The day to get the money, we all know, is Sunday. That's the money day. And again, some people sadly need the placebo to do right. Some of them need the Jesus myth to do right, because everybody's not right. They need to think they're going to go to hell to do right. If that was they need, then give them the Jesus myth to make them do right so they don't harm nobody else. That's sad you need somebody to tell you to do right, or else you're going to do all wrong. And when I say wrong, I mean hurting other people, you know, whether it's physical, whether you scamming them and stealing their money, whether you're stealing their property, taking their identity, those type of things. Hurting people. You need somebody to tell you not to do that, then there you got a problem. You the problem. You got a problem, and you are the problem. And if you need Jesus to stop, then you stay with Jesus. Cut my videos off, and you stay with Jesus. We need you to be with Jesus. Some of us have enough sense to know if I don't want anything done to me, I'm not going to do that to somebody else. I don't want nobody stealing my stuff, so I'm not going to steal their stuff. I don't want them taking my identity, I'm not going to take their identity. I don't want them killing me, I'm not going to kill them. It's that simple. I don't want it done to me, I'm not going to do it to them. But sadly, it's not the world we live in. We're dealing with a lot of killings and shootings going on, just senseless killings. That's where we are today, and we can't look to any deity to look out for any of us. That's why people are going out and buying guns. Like the young man did that did the killings. 18-year-old buying guns and body armor. Y'all see nothing wrong with this? The 18-year-old buying guns and body armor? How would they be looking at, man? Like, what do you need guns and body armor? First, if you're going out hunting, guess what? You don't need body armor because the deer are not shooting back. They're not shooting back at you. We need some different laws or something, because what they say, if you outlaw guns, only outlaws will have guns. People that break the law don't care. They will have a gun anyway, and the law-abiding citizen will not have one and be a target. We need some better laws. We need something going on here, because this just ain't right. Don't know what to do, because if we're gonna pray on that does not work. Prayer does not work. Prayer doesn't pass legislation. No, it's people. We need people to do these things. Ain't no gods coming down to do nothing. It's another sad situation. We got to see the aftermath of this thing. People in the grocery store. And I went in the grocery store today, and I was thinking about it when I went in, like, what would I do right now if somebody starts shooting? Maybe I need to carry my gun with me. But even if you had your gun, the boy had on body armor. So yeah, you might hit him, it might hurt him, but it ain't gonna kill him unless you hit him in the foot or the elbow. And he had on a helmet. And I don't know if you ever went to the gun range. It's hard to shoot a target that's sitting still, let alone a moving target. And that's why he had an automatic rifle. But he was shooting people who weren't expecting to be shot. They weren't running, they weren't expecting to be shot. They were shopping. I'm going to leave it alone. I'll say my piece on this for right now. I mean, I'll see what I had to say. Anything else, I had to be live and talking back and forth with somebody on this, but say my piece on it. Look at y'all, I got another video for you coming. Sad situation here. And I will see y'all on the next video. And y'all be safe out here. Take care of yourselves and be aware of your surroundings at all times. Be aware of your surroundings at all times and move safely. Y'all take care out there. Peace.